Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to showcase some finds from this guy's house that I went to, who I met at a garage sale. He had a bunch of records, so got some of those, and some of these are from other sales, and one of them is absolutely nuts. Like, this is a crazy record. I don't understand. I got really lucky with this find, and I'm just so happy. But we'll start off with some things from this guy's house. Had some pretty cool stuff, honestly. This is one that kind of stood out. Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution, in the shrink wrap, price sticker, and hype sticker, and near mint. Awesome, really cool. Had to keep that. I got a pretty dang good deal on all this stuff, and yeah, just had to keep that one. Another one with shrink wrap, price sticker, and hype sticker. George Clinton, computer games. George Clinton was part of that whole Parliament Funkadelic scene. I mean, he was kind of the main guy. And this is more of that, kind of, in a way. But with some electronic effects. I think this is 1980 or 83. Yeah, they started adding electronic things into this whole P-Funk sort of thing. And this is really good. I really like this one. If you like Mothership Connection by Parliament and stuff like that, you know, it's kind of similar to that, obviously, because it's George Clinton, but this is a really killer album. This next one, same lines again as that George Clinton one. Zapp by Zapp. I think this one's 1980. This is a good album. I didn't really like the first song that much. The first song is More Bounce to the Ounce, which is like their hit song, I think. They kind of had a hit with that, but it's kind of just the same thing for like 10 minutes. I wasn't really a big fan of that, but the rest of the tracks were pretty killer. I don't know, it just kind of sucks that the song I don't really enjoy is like 10 minutes long. I did enjoy most of the songs on here. Some of them are pretty repetitive sort of things. Again, it's like that P-Funk with electronic effects. There's lots of like talk box on this album. Pretty interesting. If you're really into funk or P-Funk or whatever, or that whole George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic thing, this is definitely one to check out. And this is one I got a really long time ago, and I just don't think I ever showed, but Black Moses by Isaac Hayes. This album is very chill. I wasn't expecting it to be like as chill as it was, because this has been on my want list for a long time. And this is the fold-out sort of Moses cross cover. This is a really good album, though. This is fantastic. If I would say might be my favorite Isaac Hayes. Hot Buttered Soul is a really good album too. But yeah, it's kind of like that chill, funky, like soulful kind of vibe. Lots of covers on here. But yeah, pretty cool. And this one was from the flea market for 25 cents, so just had to pick it up, you know. Them Changes by Buddy Miles, a killer funky record. I still need to give this one another listen, but yeah, really groovy stuff on here. This copy's kind of trashed, but you know, it was so cheap, I was like, whatever. A few more from the garage sale guy. Finally got a copy of Nashville Skyline. Didn't have this one. This one's got like country rock vibes. I love Bob Dylan, so decided to pick it up. Also upgraded my Folsom Prison. Folsom Prison is my absolute favorite Johnny Cash album, for sure, and one of my favorite live albums, period. This is a mint copy. He had like 4 of these for some reason. They were all super clean. But yeah, just an incredible live album. There's a great energy behind this, and it's just a really nice listen. But Johnny Cash plays on Girl from the North Country on here. Kind of redid that song, and it's on this one. So yeah, super happy to pick up these. Another one from him, Van Morrison and his Street Choir. I like this one a lot too. This is a repress on the Palm Tree label. But yeah, this is a great. I mean, I love Van Morrison so much. Moondance, fantastic. Astral Weeks, Beat and Fleece, all that stuff, wonderful. This one was pretty good too. I did really enjoy this one. This is definitely gonna have to spend some more time on the turntable for me, but I pick up pretty much all the Van Morrison solo stuff that I see. I really just love his kind of soulful vibe. Another one I got for 25 cents. This one was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about this one. David Crosby, if I could only remember my name. Yeah, 25 cents for this is pretty good now. This thing shot up in price recently. I think they're going for 10 or 15 bucks now. But if you look at this lineup here on this inner cover, it's absolutely ridiculous. You have like Michael Shreve and Greg Raleigh, I think. Yeah, from Santana. Joni Mitchell, members of Jefferson Airplane, Neil Young, half of the Grateful Dead, It's just pretty incredible. But yeah, this is a really good album. It's kind of very like stoned, psychedelic hippie rock. If you're into that thing, it's great. Honestly, I really like it. I think he forgot his name because of the amount of drugs he was doing at the time that he recorded this. But and that comes through on the music. He definitely is taking some sort of trips to come up with these songs. But yeah, a really enjoyable album, and it's great, and I'm gonna have to give it a lot more spins. This next one is one I bought from a record store. It's in the $5 bin, which is pretty cool. It's pretty clean, so I'm very happy. Cactus Restrictions. Cactus is one of my favorite sort of lesser known 70s hard rock bands. I met Carmen Appice, the drummer. I met him at a Vanilla Fudge concert that I went to earlier this year. But yeah, it's just really amazing hard rock. It's just so good, and it's like if you like Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. People call Cactus America's answer to Led Zeppelin. The song on here for me and for Matthew at Yesterday's Trips is Evil. That is incredible. It's a cover of a Howlin' Wolf song, but it's just this heaviness that's just great proto-metal type thing. Wonderful. Lovely. Love it. And this is another one that I think this was the oldest item on my want list, which is pretty crazy that I'm just now getting a copy, but I never wanted to pay up for it. Finally one just like came to me with this. Tres Hombres by ZZ Top. This is a great sort of bluesy album. This is their third album. Has LaGrange, huge hit. This shot up in price too. But this is a really nice original copy. Super happy with that. Pretty interesting gatefold. The track on here for me is Precious and Grace. That kind of has that psychedelic vibe. Billy Gibbons was in a band called The Moving Sidewalks before this, and they have an album called Flash, and it's just amazing, like sort of hard rock, psychedelic, garage, blues, whatever. And I just feel like that Precious and Grace kind of reminds me of that kind of period. All three members of this band were in like psychedelic groups before they came together. American Blues, I believe, had Frank Beard and Dusty Hill. This is a super clean copy on London. Really happy with that. Could not be happier. It's got some sleeve scuffs, but it doesn't affect the play at all. Sounds great. This one is Hendrix in the West by Jimi Hendrix, of course. I'm really trying to buy anything with Jimi Hendrix's name on it. I love pretty much everything that is put out by him, posthumously or, when he was alive. This has got Red House on it. It's got Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which I was very excited to get. Little Wing, Loverman, which is like kind of Rock Me Baby, but the words are rewritten. This is with Mitch Mitchell and Noel Redding, it looks like. But yeah, just live takes of songs from around wherever. I love Jimi Hendrix. I'm obsessed, so had to get it. Another one for $5 at a record store. This is one of the greatest psychedelic albums, in my opinion, and you can get it for maybe $10, $15, somewhere around that range. Spirits, self-titled, the first release. This is a pretty dang nice copy. I did already have this, so this is an upgrade. Fresh Garbage, fantastic song. Uncle Jack, Mechanical World, literally every song. This is a great, great album. I'm not too big of a fan of the last song, Elijah. It's kind of like this jazzy jam. Just pretty. It's fine. You know, I listen to it every time. I'm just not like huge into it. It's a little repetitive, but I do love their jazz influence on these albums. It really shines through, and I'm a jazz. I love jazz. I play jazz on guitar, you know. But it's just, yeah, wonderful, wonderful psychedelic album. One thing to look out for on this album is the mono copy. I'd love to find a mono. The way to tell is up here in the left, it does not say stereo because it's mono. So if you're flipping through a bin, you look up there and it's not, you know, it doesn't say stereo, then I'd pull out the disc and make sure that it's got this mono cat number, and I'd pick it up. You know, they go for around the $60 range, I think. But I would very much be interested to hear the mono mix on this and hear what it sounds like, because this record sounds just fine to me. But yeah, really great psychedelic. It gets pretty deep. It gets kind of pop. This is a very cool album, in my opinion. Sandy Denny, the North Star Grassmen, and the Ravens. And this is a near mint white label promo. Definitely pull that disc out. Super, super clean. Really excited. Sandy Denny was a member of Fairport Convention, which is a great band. But she also sings on Battle of Evermore by Led Zeppelin on Zeppelin 4. And I think this album came out in 71. There she is there. But the track for me on here is Late November, the first song on the album. That instantly drew me in. As soon as I put the disc on the turntable and I heard that, I was like, yeah, this is great. She does a version of Black Waterside. The Sea Captain is very good. Yeah, there's some very, very great cuts on here. It's not entirely amazing all the way through, but yeah, it's worth it just for the first song. It's amazing, sort of folky, a little bit, a tinge of psychedelic rock, kind of how Fairport Convention was, a little bit spaced out, you know, but yeah, Late November is a great track. A couple of the members of Mighty Baby back Sandy Denny on this album. Ian Whitman and Roger Powell. Very cool that they had a connection with Mighty Baby, you know, that's awesome. But yeah, just to get this super minty white label promo, you know, I for this whole like lot, I got a very good deal. So yeah, this is definitely one that's sticking around, and definitely one I recommend you keep your eye out for and give a listen to the song Late November. Guarantee you will love it. This is one I was very excited about, actually. So my friend Matthew at Yesterday's Trips, he bought this at a record show. He just got to it before me. If I had seen it, I would have bought it. It was a really good deal because the cover is messed up. But this is Flashes by the Ill Wind. And the reason why I have this now is because he got an upgrade. Copy in the shrink wrap. Really clean. Like near mint in the shrink. But yeah, pretty cool. Unfortunately, this cover damage is really bad. Especially here on the back, it's a little worse. Yeah, very unfortunate, but it was marked down a lot because of that, to a very fair price. This is a really good sort of folk rock, psych rock album with like Jefferson Airplane kind of vibes. They remind me a lot of the Peanut Butter Conspiracy. If you know that band, they kind of sound like that. The first song is straight up like country. It's really weird. The rest of the album is not like it at all. Walking and Singing, yeah. I don't know why they would start the album like that. I was reading that they didn't really have much control over this album, much creative control. They tried to do a lot of things, and the producer, Tom Wilson, I believe, didn't really let them. This cover got like printed with the pictures so dark you can barely see them. It actually is pictures in those slots. Yeah, they just kind of got screwed over, as most bands did back in the day, and now. This is not like an all amazing psychedelic record, but I really, really like some of the tracks on here. If you like those sort of male-female harmonies, if you like the band The Peanut Butter Conspiracy, this is kind of the East Coast equivalent, in my opinion. But the band is called Illwind. The album is called Flashes. All right, next is one of the reissues that I have been really wanting and was really excited about, and everybody, got this. I mean, not everybody, but, people are into the same sort of music. Everybody picked up a copy because they knew that it would just go up in price and all that stuff. And, it wasn't that cheap of a reissue, honestly. I think I paid $60 for it. Everyone knows Fraction Moonblood. This had so much hype surrounding it. And, of course, I picked up the Noble Records variant, which I will be visiting next week, which I'm very excited about. This is on red vinyl. To me, this album lives up to the hype. I think this album is fantastic. I know that Dylan said this is one of his favorite albums ever. And I totally can see that. But I can also totally see how people don't really like it. I just really think it is just insane. I love the mystery behind this album. I love the story. The vocals are absolutely killer. I love this guy's vocals. I know people, I guess this music is just totally not for everyone. And that's why I think some people, it kind of doesn't live up to the hype for them. This is the copy with the window and the insert and whatever. Yeah, I know they had a lot of trouble getting this cover. There's a really great podcast with the Vinyl Guide where they talk about just this specific reissue. Come Out of Her is insane. This is if you weren't listening to the lyrics, you wouldn't know that this is a Christian band. To me, totally lives up to the hype. Love it to death so much. Same with Yesterday's Trips. He loves this album. It is short. It's about 30 minutes. But I don't mind. This is the kind of music that I don't really play when everyone's in the house. Like, it's kind of scare your grandmother music. So glad that it got reissued. Thank you, Noble Records and Riding Easy and everyone involved, because I love it. These next two are ridiculous. But was just perusing eBay one morning. I know I said I would stop with the eBay, but I just kept the eBay around, and I'm just being more careful, and I'm having a much better experience with it. Purchasing a lot less, and I did kind of screw up with this one, now that I say that, but I got such a good deal on this, doesn't really matter. This is Gracious, an original UK Vertigo, with the textured cover and the gatefold and all that. Yeah. So this was described as VG. The pictures were horrible, so I couldn't really see. So I just kind of had to go with the fact that it was VG. If I had known it was in this condition, I don't know if I would have picked it up, honestly. Because I did pay a pretty penny for this, but not nearly as much as it goes for. But yeah, this is an original UK Vertigo. I don't know if you can see it. It's not in great shape. That being said, this pressing does sound pretty good. It's got more kind of a stereo separation than on the US press, if that makes any sense. But to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to keep it because of the condition. There are some quiet passages on this album, but that are pretty bad. Yeah, so this is my US press. Completely different cover. But this one is partially shrinked. The shrink's coming off, which people would tell me to peel it off, but I just can't bring myself on this one. This is a pretty mint copy on that green Capital label. If you don't know this album, the US press is definitely the one to seek out. It goes for around the $40 range, I want to say. I got a killer deal at this at an antique store. and this was one of my greatest finds at the time. But yeah, this is incredible progressive rock. This is one of my favorite Vertigo releases for sure. If you like sort of, long songs, it's great. Starts out with Introduction, a great introduction, just a great sort of progressive rock, hard rock song. But the tracks for me on this album are Heaven and The Dream. Heaven is just amazing. It has these like great harmonies and this great sort of just progressive rock feel. It's just really nice. It's really just a pleasant listen. Which it's a song called Heaven. It's supposed to be. But yeah, great harmonies, great guitar, great mellotron on here. Amazing. Hell is crazy in the best way possible. It's like this sort of, I don't want to say a freak out, but it gets kind of close to there. Fugue in D minor is a complete dud. I have no idea why they put that on the album. Probably just to fill up time, which they really didn't need to, because side 2 could just have The Dream, which is 17 minutes long, and it'd be great. But yeah, Fugue in D minor goes on for 5 minutes. It's just like a harpsichord for 5 minutes, playing like Bach. It's just not that great. I don't know why that's on here. It's kind of a complete dud, if I'm being honest. This is a 4 out of 5 stars, easily for me. Fantastic progressive rock album. A UK Vertigo is awesome. I might have to let it go, though. I love the gatefold, I love that, but I would never play it over my super clean copy. I'm gonna have to listen to it again, but I really just don't want to let go of my shrink wrap copy yet. Maybe I'll keep both. I don't usually like keeping 2 copies of the same record. I'm always gonna play the US press, just because of how clean it is. So maybe I'll wait for a disc upgrade. Maybe I could get one of those. Maybe I could just sell it and then wait for a long time. I would make a sizable amount of money on this from what I got, like from what I purchased it for. So I'm happy, but definitely gotta give it a couple more listens and decide if it's worth keeping. This is the most valuable album I own now, by far, which is crazy, and I know I've said that a couple times, but this is like doubled the price of the most valuable album I own. This was number 2 on my want list, and this is just an amazing psychedelic record, and I know I say that all the time, but this one deserves it because of how great it is. July. Insane. And to make it better, that is a mono sticker. This is a mono promo, and it is mint. It is near mint. So this popped up on eBay as an auction, and the starting bid was $50, and I must have clicked on it just right after he listed it, because, there's just no way that no one else would have sent an offer, but it was $50 or best offer. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna offer $150. That is such a good deal. Like, there's no way they'll accept that. This is almost $1,000 album, especially in this shape. There's just no way that they'll accept that. And not even 5 minutes later, they accepted. I was shocked. So yeah, $150 for a near mint mono promo of July. This is my forever copy. The only thing that could top this is a UK mono. But yeah, I got the demonstration not for sale thing back there, and I will definitely show the disc because it's really just impressive. Like, crazy. There's the white label. Yeah, I've heard this is the only way to get the UK mono mix in the US, which I've heard the stereo is not as great by any means. Which, if someone has the stereo, let me know about the sound quality. I've heard very mixed things about it. But someone in the reviews also said this is a fold down mono, so they did the stereo mix and then just, you know, played it in mono for the mono copy. But yeah, this shipped pretty locally to me, so just to think that this was this close to me and someone was willing to let it go for $150, crazy. Starts off with The Clown, great song. I'm just gonna say right now, this album does not have a bad song on it. If you like Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd or Tomorrow, stuff like that, British Psych, this is great. Dandelion Seeds is an amazing track. On a lot of psychedelic compilations. Jolly Mary, Hello to Me, really happy pop psych songs. You Missed It All in the Way, like amazing. I will say I do like the single cut of The Way a lot better. There's a single version on Spotify. It's included at the end of the album. He just has some sort of vocal effect on his voice that makes it like really high pitched, and I prefer the single cut. It's a little more raw. Yeah, I can't complain. The side 2 is just fantastic. Side 1 is just fantastic. It's just an amazing psychedelic record, and I'm sure you all know this. Because this is one of the most sought after psych records. You know, it sold horribly. It got horrible reviews too. People hated this when it came out for whatever reason. The reviewers just hated it. I don't see why. Because just look at this cover, man. This is just an insane grail to me. I don't even believe that I own this, and I still can't believe it. Like, this is one that it's like, I gotta put gloves on to hold this. For me, it is just insane to own a record like this. And what makes it even better, what makes it so much better, is that I love this record to death. It's just such an amazing album. And yeah, members of this band went on to be in Jade Warrior and made some pretty cool albums. I like some Jade Warrior. I'm not a huge fan of them, to be honest. But yeah, July, self-titled, 1968, U.S. mono promo. I can't believe it, to be honest with you, but here it is, and yeah, no words. That's the best find of my life. Even though I didn't really find it, I got it on eBay. You know, I don't know if that counts as a find. To some people it does. To me, it kind of does, because I just had to be in the right place at the right time, which is kind of just how record buying works for getting stuff for cheap. You know, the more you're out there, the more you're looking, the more you find good stuff for cheap, and it's the same way on eBay. But yeah, can't believe it. So happy about that. But yeah, this video is going on pretty long, so thank you all for watching. I am in shock. See you later.